What's going on, guys? Welcome back. It is episode number 2 of the RTG career mode. Just want to show you a couple of things I've done off camera to start the episode. We've converted Blackburn to CB, and we've also sold Gibson for that 2.75 million sale to Belgium. So now our budget is over £3 million. Let's bring in that third and final youth scout and get him sent out. So if you missed the season opener, we hired one more youth scout to go along with the 5-star we were gifted at the start of the save. We sent them out to England and Hungary, and we were waiting for enough money to pick up another top-class scout. Unfortunately, we still don't have enough money for the 5-star, which is the one I want. And actually, what I think I might do is possibly sell just a one more player and then get the 5-star. Because I really want 2 world-class scouts here. Because as we said before, in an RTG, youth scouting very, very important to me. And I do have plans to sell at least 1 or 2 more players alongside Gray and Gibson as well. This man right here, Julio Pleguezuelo, Spanish centre-half, 27 years old. And now that we converted Blackburn to CB as well, he's the future, or so we assume, in our back line. I think we can afford to sell him. I really do. We've got Victor Poulsen, Brendan Galloway, Sooks is there too. So I'm going to sell him. He's only got 10 months on his deal. We're not going to get a new contract. Instead of losing for free, I'll try and get a bit of cash for him. Yep, got to make the smart financial decisions when working with small transfer budgets. Every penny counts, believe me. Right, let's jump into our first game today. Another struggling championship side, Hull City at home, going for our first league win this season. Come on, the Pilgrims. So in the season opener, I said that our goal this season should be to finish in the top half of the table with an outside shot at the playoffs. And you might look at our side and think, slightly ambitious there, but there's a reason for that, and it's because we're a young team. And you've got to remember that if you're using a young team, the side you start the season off is not going to be as good as the team you close the season out with, because if it's young, if it's got potential, it's going to get better over the course of the season. So this is an okay Plymouth team, but it's going to be better come the end of the season if we keep adding to the young talent we've already got, including Blackburn, who came through the academy as Darko Javi is denied. So I don't think that's too ambitious at all. Top half of the table? Yeah, we should definitely be doing that. Anything short of that, it's a failure. You know, I was dead wrong at the start of the save as well when I said that our biggest concern is going to be defensively. I think we'll score enough goals, but can we keep enough clean sheets? Evidently, I got it the wrong way around. 1 goal scored in 3 games in all competitions, but 3 straight clean sheets. No problems defensively, just can't score. So just sold Pleguezuelo off to Hull for £1.3 million. Again, with his contract coming the end of the season, being in his mid to late 20s, wasn't going to get a new deal. So just got to make a smart play there. Cash in, get his salary off the books, and get a bit of money as well. And that means our budget now rising to just over £4.25 million. The question is there a 5-star youth scout available to be hired? Fingers crossed. Yes, there is. Estonian, Lembit Kuzik. We'll bring him in 3.4 mil. And again, like I said in the season opener, you get what you pay for, really. We're not going to get much of 1-star, 1-star, 2-star, 2-star scouts, so get the best you can, and now let's send them out. In fact, what we'll do is wait until the first of the month, and I can send them out with the other 2 scouts as well. I just like all the reports to come in at the same time, you know. Right, following game, QPR away, West London. Got to get our first league goal and win here. Come on, the Pilgrims. I've always been a firm believer, you want to get your task, your objective done as soon as possible. You don't want to leave it too long, because... oh, what a save. The longer you leave it, the more you start to doubt whether you'll ever be able to do it. Man, I am really struggling for goals, honestly. Well, if I don't score in this one, 4. Chances, just can't score. The lower rated your forwards are, the better your finishing's got to be. That's obvious, but at the moment... oh, so well done. There we go. There we go. I think it's the composure that's been really letting me down, you know, just getting too nervous. Adrenaline getting the better of me when going through 1-on-1, but that's better. That's better. Sometimes you've got to realise you've got more time. You think, I could have ran all the way there, shot on the weaker left foot, but no, I've got plenty of time. Even with a covering defender coming across, plenty of time. Sometimes it's all about just staying composed. There we go, first league goal. Let's close this win out. Well, I really can't see me scoring more than 1 goal a game on this current pace. But if the defense stays as tight as it is, then 1 goal is all we're going to need. Ask and you shall receive. First goal, first win. Let's build on that. Right, following game, let's build on that win. Charlton away at the Valley, staying in London. We're going from the west to the south in the EFL Cup 3rd round. Make it through this, and fingers crossed, we could get drawn against the Premier League side for the first time in the save. That's what I want, man. A big, strong test early doors. Charlton away. Come on, the Pilgrims. It's safe to say at the moment, Charlton Athletic fans are certainly hoping for a bit better from their team when you consider the fact that 20 years ago, they were a Premier League staple. Charlton were in the top tier and stayed there for quite a while. But since their relegation, they've now dropped down to the third tier of English football, playing in League One, and unfortunately haven't been able to get back to those heights of playing top level football. The one positive for Charlton, however, is that they've always had a great record of bringing through good young talent. And when you think about some of the names in recent years that Charlton's academy has produced, you've got Ezri Konsa, Joe Gomez, John Joe Shelby, Adam Little-Man. I mean, they've always had a really good youth setup, and so whilst they might not be where they want to be right now, they know that with the youth players they can bring through, they've always got a chance to either keep them for the long term and build around them, or sell them for profit and start developing. There we go though, second goal in 2 games, and finally our fortunes are starting to change. Leading right before the break in London. The Carabao Cup for me is normally a competition where I just throw out the resis and just see what happens, but I have to say with each passing round I'm going to pick stronger and stronger lineups. I've got a mixture of first 11 and bench players in for this game. And if we get drawn against I don't know, like a Spurs away in the following contest, you best believe I'm going to pick probably my strongest lineup, as Mumba almost made it to. Yet Plymouth, again, never reached a major domestic cup final, either league or FA Cup, in the entire club history. I don't know if we can do it in season 1, but I'll give it a go. Something I've never done before, by the way, reached a cup final with a side outside of the top tier in a football pyramid. Is this the year? Is this the year? Long way to go, but 2 down. Let's head into the next round, see who we got. So we should see who we've got directly after the advance as we get back to the main menu as well. Obviously, the luck would see us take on another EFL side, but I don't want it. No. I want a Premier League side. I want a Premier League side away, and it's going to be... well, it isn't away, but it is at home. Brentford, who Plymouth, of course, face in the FA Cup third round today as well. Bring on the Bees. There's the Premier League side. First time in a save. Back-to-back goals, back-to-back wins, and now let's try and extend our mini run of form following contest Stoke City in our final game of August. Come on, the Pilgrims. Oh, what a ball. Oh, it's yours. Morgan. Come on, mate. All day. Set yourself. Oh, off the point. My finishing is so bad. I had enough time there to take out the newspaper. Somehow couldn't squeeze it in. My finishing is terrible. Speaking of other teams alongside Charlton that spent a few years in the Premier League, got relegated and never came back, Stoke City are a great example of that, man. Like they were such a unique team in the Premier League at the time they were in it, with Rory Delap's long throws. You had Robert Hoofs in the back line. You had Thomas Sorensen between the sticks, Peter Crouch up top. It was an interesting team. But then you also had players that played for them like Bojan and Hesse. It was such an interesting mix Stoke had over the years. That's got to be... oh, how is that squeezed in? That's one of the worst goals I think I've ever scored. No wonder the cameraman doesn't know what to do. How did that go in? I can't quite work out how I've just scored that. Did that go through the keeper's legs from the pass? Or, yeah, that's exactly what happened there. I don't think Whittaker can claim that, but we'll take the goal regardless. That is an awful goal. You know, when you're really struggling, you need a helping hand. That's not just a helping hand, that's a helping arm. But I'm sure there are worse ways to win a football game, but there aren't many more worse ways. Goodness gracious. 3 straight 1-0s in a row, though. Still haven't conceded yet this season, but 3 straight wins in all competitions as well. This is the sort of start we were hoping for, man. Really strong foundation being laid here. And that's why it's deadline day is here, and 620 grand in the budget. We're not going to do anything whatsoever. Maybe we could make one more sale, maybe we could make our first signing, but no, we're off to a decent start this season, haven't conceded a goal yet. We got the youth staff set up the way we wanted as well. I'm getting through deadline day really quickly. No transfers, just bring on the youngsters. Yep, no sales or signings on deadline day, and as you see the top deals, Alphonso Davies joining Chelsea for, is that it? 41.6 mil. That is a steal from Maresca there for the 23, now 24-year-old in real life. Zakani joins Real Madrid, and Robinson moves within the Premier League to Aston Villa, 32.4 mil. That is incredibly light on Alphonso Davies. But yeah, as deadline day comes to an end, and we shall see the next 2 youth scouting reports and send our following scout as well. Fingers crossed, man. We really want a solid young star to join our academy. Ibrahim Colt could be alright. We'll do 1 month for scouting. Albie Morton could be very good as well. The overall is quite shocking. We'll keep the scouting on him for now. Harvey Monk, I don't think is going to make it. Jacob Marks, possibly. Possibly Austin Webster's solid potential, but the overall is low. But I think for now, as low going to get rejected, we'll just continue scouting on these players here. And as for Hungary, fingers crossed, we're looking for that creative player. Songor Sus could still be quite good. Toff with solid potential. Elek has no potential. So I've always wondered how your potential could be that low when the overall range is basically the same. 53-69 overall, 56-71 potential. Imagine telling a 15-year-old, I don't think your life's going to get any better than this, honestly. Peaking in secondary school, but Georgi Pakai, to be fair, has caught my eye. Wow, he looks really good indeed. I'm putting him straight in the academy right now, and we'll continue the scouting on these two players here. As for where we send our third and final scout with a 5-star, well, because we've got our 2 scouts based in Europe right now, I want to send him to a different continent. And I also want to scout one of the nations that's now been added into FC25 as well. There's so many new countries to scout now, and full props to EA for adding so many more countries to scout. I'm going to go to Africa, and I'm going to go to West Africa. And as I was recently reading an article about the bus attack that happened 15 years ago during the African Cup of Nations on the Togolese national football team, with Togo now being a nation to scout, I'm going to scout them for the first time ever. And as we are looking for a striker as well, if we can find one half as good as their top scorer in the country's history, Emmanuel Adebayor, then I think we'll be on to a winner. I'm going to leave that article in the description down below if you want to read it. It was a tragic event in world football back in 2010, which led to the Togolese national team boycotting the African Cup of Nations. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. And again, we're going to look for a target forward who's got the strength that Adebayor had, the heading ability that Adebayor had, and hopefully the quality he had as well. So we're looking for a Togolese striker going for the next Emmanuel Adebayor. Right, let's do one more game and end on this, going for our 4th straight victory as we take on Sunderland in the Championship, where a win could put us in the top 2 for the first time to start the season off. Let's go do it. Come on, the Pilgrims. Speaking of teams who were Premier League regulars until their relegation and haven't been back since, well, Sunderland are probably one of the best examples of that. Dropped down to the 3rd tier, now back into the Championship. But based on the way they've started this season, I mean, there's definitely a chance, you know. There's definitely a chance as Darko always fires on our opener. They could be back in the top flight for next season. I'd love to see it as well, man. They've got some great young talent. Of course, Joe, the brother of Jude Bellingham. They've got a passionate fan base, and of course, with a strong rivalry with Newcastle United as well. I would love to see Premier League football return to the Stadium of Light next season. I guess we will see. Still 0-0 here as we go in search of our opener as Whittaker. Oh, what a goal! Couldn't get inside, just hit it from range. What a goal! That is an early contender for goal of the season right now. We haven't scored many, to be fair, so not much competition. But what's really impressing me right now is the defense. Albie holding his own at 17 in the back line. 3 minutes to secure another shutout, another clean sheet. We still haven't conceded yet this season, and this will be our 4th win in a row in all competitions, and what has been an almost perfect start to the season for Plymouth Argyle. Yup, to begin this campaign, I felt confident. I really did. And this has been about realistically as good as I possibly could have hoped for. But that'll do it for today's episode, guys. Big fan of you. Fortunately, hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. I'll return in the next one with more scouting updates from England, Togo, and Hungary as well. We'll have the EFL Cup 4th round at home to Brentford, our first test against Premier League side, and more games in the Championship too, as we aim to stay on this unbeaten run. Have a great day, much love, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon.